Hello again and welcome along to SUTV Live. Tonight we follow the Blades to Reading. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff and the best possible match build-up starts right here. There's plenty to get through over the next hour. There's the all-important team news, that's on the way very shortly. We'll be hearing from Slaviša Jokanovic, Enda Stevens, Chris Basham and Wes Fodringham. And we'll be delving into the archives and going all the way back to November 1991 to help us celebrate a very special anniversary. More on that to come in just a short while. And then come kick-off, you'll be able to watch the whole game live with us right here on SUTV Live. All you need to do is to get your match pass. Just go to the website sufc.co.uk. Good evening, great to be here once again. Fingers crossed for a Sheffield United win tonight. It's got to happen tonight, surely. It has to happen tonight. I'll be joined by none other than the cornerstone of our team, a mainstay in our lineup. It is the former Blaze defender, Kevin Gage. Evening.
Good evening.
Nice to see you. And also a man that doesn't really need much of an introduction. He was tough as nails on the pitch, but all in all, he's just a big softie, really. It's Chris Morgan. Good to have you back, Chris. Great to see you. We're going to crack on as we usually do with the team news. Let's take you through that. Here we are. 3 changes for the Blaze tonight. Coming in, Norwood, Brewster and McGoldrick. Out go Hourahan, Sharp and Njai. Kevin, let's get your thoughts immediately on that.
Well, Oliver Norwood, we kind of expected that, didn't we? I don't think Hourahan did himself too many favours on Saturday. He didn't really impact on the game much at all, to be honest. I was hoping he'd dictate a bit more. Norwood, more than happy for him to come back into the side. McGoldrick, that's an interesting one. He did change the game for us a bit on Saturday. We had more of the play, but of course he missed those 2 gilt-edged chances. So, you know, if he's going to play striker, you need him to get some goals and to justify his place.
Chris, thoughts when you look at that?
Interested to see Ryan Brewster coming back in. I didn't see the game on Saturday. A couple of pals, season ticket holders, said we just lacked a bit of energy, particularly up front. A runner, somebody with a bit of pace. So, you know, as he turned back to Ryan, and that's what he's looking for tonight. You know, it looks a couple of number 10s possibly as well, with Morgan Gibbs-White and possibly David McGoldrick behind, so we'll have to see.
It's a difficult scenario for the manager at the moment. Any manager would like, ordinarily, to play the same team on a consistent basis. Every week there are changes. He's trying to find solutions, isn't he? But in turn, that's not helping the rhythm of the team, is it, Kevin?
It's not, no. We're scrambling around, aren't we, especially up front, to find some combinations that work. He's been hampered a bit with a few injuries, of course, to Mousset, you know, McBurney's been out. Billy Sharp's, it's caused him a problem in a good way, because Billy Sharp's been amazing in his performances this season and his goals as well, and it's been difficult to leave him out. But, you know, is the long-term solution Billy Sharp and someone else? You know, he'll be obviously looking to the future. We've tried Njai floating around there, and he's not even in the squad this evening. He's played for the under-23s this afternoon, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But yeah, you can see the manager just fumbling around, trying to find a team. We've even changed the formation at the back, of course. The manager's tried and trusted 4 at the back. It's 4-3-3 that he likes to play at other clubs and has had a lot of success with. We've now gone back to the 3 centre-half formation that's worked so well for us in the past. So you're quite right, yeah, we're just trying to find something that's going to work and get us a few points.
You mentioned Illiman. When it was announced earlier that he'd be playing for the under-23s, lots of Blades fans surprised by that. Why do you think that's happened? Because this is not a lad who's had a couple of appearances here and there. He's been a regular in the first team. Why take him out now?
I can't answer that question. You'd have to, maybe you'll have to ask the manager at a later stage. I don't think for 1 second it's a punishment for anything he's done, and certainly not a reflection on his performances. Even on Saturday, although he got taken off in half time, he wasn't any worse than any of the other players. You could have taken any one of 5 off, to be honest. So I don't think it's a punishment in any way, shape or form. Maybe he just wanted to, you know, give him a boost and just give him a game of football, a full 90 minutes. You know, I don't know. Hopefully he won't be jettisoned out the squad, and that we'll see him back involved on Sunday when we play our next game.
Chris, he's gone to a back three at the weekend. When a new manager goes into a club, obviously he wants to put his own stamp on the team. Was that a difficult call, do you think, for him to make, given that these players have played that way under the previous manager? You know where I'm coming from.
Yeah. I think when any new manager comes into a club, he obviously wants to put his stamp. He wants to bring his, there's a common word now used in football, philosophy.
Yeah.
And of course, but them lads were so well drilled within that system, and you could argue that them players were recruited to play in that system. So to come in and then try and play a whole new system, particularly away from a back five to a back four, and as an ex-centre-back, it is so different. People say, how can it be so different playing in a 2 or a 3? It is totally different. I think the only one it's the same for is John Egan, who used to play in the middle. I think it's a total different way of football. So for him to start trying to move some of them players round, and it's going to take time. And unfortunately, I think with all the changes, there's never massive changes to the team, but there's always 1 and 2 changes, and it does just look as though he's not sure of his best team at the minute. And I think sometimes, we're stumbling from game to game, and then new players are coming in, we're trying little different things, and again, gone back away from the 4, back to a 5, and we've just spoke earlier, is it going to be, the box in midfield, 2 sitters, 2 10s with Rian up front? It's, and you look and you think at this stage of the season, we're heading to a busy stage of the season. Once you get into December, then Christmas fixtures into the new year, and you'd like to see a settled team, and I don't think there is. Not necessarily a settled team. There's not a settled shape.
Yeah, and also just picking up from what Chris says there, he's exactly right. It also affects the players, doesn't it? Because as a player, you want to know that your position is kind of nailed down, and the manager has belief and trust in you. And as long as you play, 7, 8, 9 out of 10 every week, you're going to get a game, and you can make combinations with the players around you, and you get to know the way that particular unit on the right hand side or the left hand side or in the centre up front, they all work together. At the moment, it's all a bit of a mismatch and a jumble. You don't know who you're playing with or who's alongside you from one week to the next.
Did you see progress then with the back three at the weekend? Obviously yielded a clean sheet.
I think what happened with the back three, let's call it, this 3 centre halves, came a result of playing Chris Basham, because Chris Basham played so well in just a normal centre half position. You can't leave him out the side. So if you're gonna bring Ben Davies back in, you have to find a way to play Chris Basham. And I think Chris Basham playing in that right centre half role allows him the freedom to come forward that he's been doing supremely well for the last 3-4 years. So you'll always get that off Basham. Davies not quite so much on the left. He's more of a traditional centre half, although he can bring the ball out. But I think the system suits our players very well.
Kevin Gage and Chris Morgan alongside me here in the studio at Bramall Lane as we build up to an 8 o'clock kick-off, Sheffield United at Reading. Let's hear from Morgan Gibbs-White. I caught up with him a little while earlier as the team arrived at the stadium. Morgan, first of all, it's obviously a big game tonight. What's the game plan?
Just to go out there, compete, win our individual battles, and just kick on, really. We're not in a good form recently. We haven't been getting the results that I think we deserve. So I feel like tonight we've got to go out there and try and get the 3 points.
Is it about how you start the game? Because let's be honest, it was a slow, nervy start at the weekend. Have you got to set your stall out from the very first whistle?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if you want to win a game and you want to compete in a game, you've got to start fast. You've got to want to go and get the ball back. You've got to try and go forward and try and score goals. So yeah, definitely. I think that's the first thought in our head is as soon as the whistle goes, go and get forward and try and create things.
Obviously, clean sheet at home at the weekend. There were positives from that performance, but the fact that you didn't win it, does it put more pressure on getting 3 points tonight?
Not pressure, because we know we're capable of winning games. We've just got to take our chances, and I feel like it was a good, solid defensive performance on the weekend. And I feel like if we take that into tonight and then just add goals and assists into that tonight, I feel like we'll get the 3 points.
And Reading as an opponent, what are you likely to get from them, do you feel?
They're a good team individually, I think. They've got a few good players. But I feel like going forward, I really think we can create things, score goals, but we just got to make sure we're defensively organised. And, like, again, it'd be good to keep another clean sheet, but we want to score goals, so that's our main thing tonight.
Good luck tonight, Morgan. Thanks for your time.
Cheers. Thank you, mate. Take care.
That's Morgan Gibbs-White. He's been one of the real plus points, hasn't he, throughout this season up until now, Chris?
Yeah, I think he's been excellent. I think he was the one that Slav really wanted. You know, going towards the end of the window. I think they tried earlier on, and then really pushed to get him in. I just think his energy, his character. You know, he doesn't look like a loan player. You know, he looks like a Sheffield United player. Sometimes you sign players on loan and they come and they take a bit of time to settle in, but he just looks as though he's strode straight in and he's been here for years.
Kevin's nodding.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, that's a very good point. He doesn't look like a loan player. Excellent, because you can see his enthusiasm. You know, he gets fouled and he's up at the referee and he's in the players' faces. It's good to see. It really is. His quality's there for everybody to see, of course. And I tell you what, he could have another 3 or 4 goals to his tally as well. He's been very unfortunate with some of his efforts. A great effort, I think, on Saturday. Got deflected and the keeper made a wonderful save. He's had a few other efforts where he seems to concentrate on hitting the target all the time. Very rarely does he slash at stuff. He's got great techniques. If a chance comes to him, more often than not, he'll hit the target with it. There's been some superb blocks as well that some of his shots haven't actually reached the goalkeeper because there's been some fantastic defending blocks to get in the way. So all in all, he's been a great signing for us.
One thing I didn't mention earlier on when we looked at the team news was the return of Sander Berger on the bench tonight. He's been out for a long time. That has to be a plus, and we know the fella's got talent. We just haven't seen it enough because he's not played enough. But the very fact that he's on the bench, it does strengthen that subs bench, doesn't it? When Slav turns round, he's got options. I mean, he's always had options, but Berger being back is a big player, isn't he, when he's fit?
We've sometimes got too many options, haven't we? We've got an embarrassment of riches sometimes. But yeah, I mean, we'd like everybody fit and moving, and Sander Berger is definitely one of those we need. Well, we haven't seen the best of him, have we? So we need to get him fit and up to speed for starters. And then he's got to get a run in the side, as we've just talked about. And then we've got to find his best position. We're sat here, we still don't know what his best position is.
That's a good point.
Is he a central midfield player, holding midfield player? Is he going to play the right-hand side midfield, bursting forward? We just don't know.
We'll talk more about that, I'm sure, as the evening wears on. But Sheffield United heading into this game at Reading after that goalless draw with Coventry at the weekend. Here's some of the highlights.
Gibbs-White set off on a run. Fleck, though, with good feet. Fleck with an early strike. First shot in anger from Sheffield United. Good battling play again by Chris Basham. Njai, found by Gibbs-White. No one in the box, though. And it's acclaimed at the near post by Simon Moore. Shot from distance, parried by Wes Foderingham. Hourahan again. Here's Ender Stevens. Patient stuff here from United. Is there an end product? Stevens. Hamer. Gyökeres. And again. Gibbs-White once more. Little back heel. Jayden Bogle. Still going Jayden Bogle. Couldn't quite cut the ball back, but certainly it's more like it from a Sheffield United point of view. Here's Jayden Bogle. Feeding off a pass from Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White now with the cross. Coventry getting ready to bring Matt Godden on, which was a sign, really, I think, that a sense of victory here. Here comes Coventry with O'Hare. Godden to his right-hand side. Godden takes it early. Now Fleck again. In goes the cross, only Bogle in the box. Comes out for Hourahan. Now Gibbs-White! Probably as close as United have come so far in this game. Still Morgan Gibbs-White. Gets the cross in. McGoldrick! Two chances. Here's Bogle. Hourahan urged to shoot. Again, not far wide. McGoldrick wants the return from Gibbs-White. Gets the return from Gibbs-White. David McGoldrick! Well held by Simon Moore. Hourahan's delivery. Can it break here for Morgan Gibbs-White? Deflection! That was a wonderful save by Simon Moore. He was going the opposite direction.
Well, they pushed late on, Kevin Gage, but they should really have set the tone from the off on Saturday, shouldn't they? I think that's where the frustration comes from. 82 minutes, I think it was, until there was a shot on target.
Yeah, it was desperately disappointing, to be honest, especially the first half performance. You know, I'd said before the game I was a little bit apprehensive about how we'd react. I felt that around the club and the crowd. I thought it would come filter down to the players, and it was a very, as I say, apprehensive performance, a very insipid, you know, lifeless performance, especially the first half. It was poor. Did well to get 2 minutes highlights out of that, to be fair. Second half we did come into it the last 20 minutes or so, but that was mainly because Coventry changed their formation to try and win the game. They thought that, hold on, there's maybe 3 points here. So they made a tactical change, which actually played into our hands, because they pushed another man up front. They moved one out of the midfield, and that allowed us a little bit more room to play. So we took advantage of that, and yeah, we could have nicked it at the end. So as poorly as we played, you've just seen on the VT there, we had some great chances at the end to actually win it. And
Chris, will the whole squad, the team, be looking at that clean sheet as a starting point? You'll have been in that position before where you've been leaking a lot of goals and then suddenly a clean sheet comes along. Will the confidence have been lifted because of that, do you think?
Yeah, because that gives you a solid base to then build on. You know, keep clean sheets, and a lot of them chances there looked as though they were from distance. You know, there weren't many chances in around the 6-yard box. I think Simon Moore would have been happy on Saturday. He's faced a few shots from distance, but I think he'd have been happy. So yeah, I think clean sheet, solid base to build on. Defenders can say, we've done our job. Come on, strikers, attackers, you go and do yours. But yeah, going into tonight, you've kept a clean sheet Saturday, and then go and be positive tonight. Away from home, pressure's on them. Just go and express yourself.
Well, let's hear what Slaviša Jokanovic had to say about that draw at the weekend. He admits, like we've just discussed, that his team did make a nervous start.
We show some late reaction. It's part of the football. I cannot give you clearly explication why we was not comfortably on the field. We didn't be enough brave for start for the back. We didn't be successful in the our long ball in the second phase. It's simple. We are not. We didn't be comfortable without so many changes. Okay, we changed a little bit the shape, and we changed a little bit the things in the second half. We find it be more comfortable. Even where we are not today, where we are not be especially so good, they are not created. As lot of the danger situation in front of our goal, where we are start to play better football, we start to create the things without being enough successful. It's simple. People pay the tickets for enjoying with Sheffield United. People pay the tickets for watch the Sheffield United win the games. We are in this. No, I'm not talking only about today game. We didn't be enough able from give them enough satisfaction, and this is a reaction what I am not especially so surprised, and I hope we will find it more support for my players. But from the other side, I completely can understand they are unsatisfied with first 45 minutes and with a lot of the games how we play at the home, and especially with the result at the end is all us is free, is making reaction what I believe is normally in this kind of the situation. It's unfortunately not easy situation for our supporters. It's not easy for us too, but we must to be from our side. We must to be positive. I must to trust in my players. I must to encourage them for try play good football. At the end, we can talking about quality of the championship. If it's in high or less level, we today play against one top championship team. If independent, which name it's, they are in top 6. And they made a better job at the moment of in the competition than us. I have sensation we made a better job today than Coventry, but this unfortunately didn't be enough for us for finding benefits we were looking for.
That Slaviša Jokanovic. Well, certainly one of the big positives from that draw at the weekend was the performance of goalkeeper Wes Foderingham, who of course kept a clean sheet, and he was delighted to mark it by doing that on his return to the team.
Yeah, I think in recent weeks and recent games we've been a bit leaky at the back, so to get a clean sheet today was definitely a positive. I just think we lacked that cutting edge again in front of goal, and disappointed not to come away with 3 points.
And a move to 3 at the back again, it's a formation that's clearly served the club well over the last few years, and potentially that people just feel a little bit more comfortable with.
I'd say so. The club's played that way for a long period of time. The boys are used to that way. I still think we adopted the 4 quite well. Just didn't quite get to grips with it quick enough. But like you say, a little bit more comfortable with the 3. So yeah, it's the manager took the decision to go with that formation, and you know, I thought we did well today.
What was discussed at half time, because clearly it was a frustrating first half. You'll have heard the boos from the fans at half time. What was said to try and arrest that in the second half?
Just to be a little bit more forceful on the ball. I think, you know, we kept the ball well, but I think when we got into key areas we were a little bit slow, and I think that frustration you could hear from the crowd, which is understandable. But you know, you can see in recent weeks we're a little bit low on confidence, and I felt today we're just finding our feet early on, and as the game went on I think we built it quite well into the shape and got the ball forward a bit more quicker and looked a threat in the second half.
Is that going to be the key now? Because clearly the results haven't been great, so you know it may take a little bit of time for things to click. Just little building blocks like a clean sheet today, like the way that the team finished, to just move forward a little bit by bit.
Yeah, I think when you keep a clean sheet, you always give yourself a chance to win the game. You know, it could be just a little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune, and a bounce for you and tapping at the back post or whatever. So a clean sheet's massive. It gives you that opportunity there, and you know, if you know the game's tight and you only get 1 or 2 chances, luckily someone puts one away, the clean sheet helps you get the 3 points. You know, if you're leaky at the back, then it's always an uphill battle. So I think, like I say, that was definitely a positive, the clean sheet, and just a little bit more clinical going forward, and I think we'll be all right.
Wes Foderingham, who keeps his place in the starting lineup tonight. Only his 5th league start of the season, but he's kept 2 clean sheets in his 4 previous ones. And he's not let anybody down when he's come into the team, Chris, has he? I mean, we're not talking about a young goalkeeper who's been thrown in. He's a vastly experienced goalkeeper.
Yeah, when you think, he came from Glasgow Rangers. You know, if you can play up there and play in them types of atmospheres, he's a good goalkeeper. I think when people look at Wes, they always associate a goalkeeper, like a modern goalkeeper, good with his feet, but I don't think they give him the credit for actually how good a shot stopper he is and how good he is at keeping the ball out of the net. But I always think of Wes, obviously when he was in Mark Cooper's team at Swindon, you know, they did play total football, and he deserves to stay in tonight and deserves a run in the team. And if he can keep some clean sheets and we can get some points, then you know, all the better for Wes.
Yeah, well over 300 games for him, Kevin. 129 clean sheets in 343 games. That's not bad going, actually, is it?
Yeah, a lot of those would be for Rangers, probably.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, but even still,
too much against him. But yeah, listen, I haven't been overly impressed with Olsen. I have to be honest. In the games I've seen him play now, and I think there's a real opportunity for Wes to come in and claim that spot for the rest of the season. So yeah, good luck to him.
His shirt to lose now, then? Do you see it like that?
Absolutely, yeah. That's what the goalkeeping position is all about. You know, you need to be consistent. The thing with goalkeepers, as we all know, I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? But the mistakes are highlighted, aren't they? Mm. So outfield players can make you the odd mistake or two. McGoldrick can miss a gilt-edged chance, and it's not going to cost anybody. But a keeper makes a mistake, and more than likely it costs you a goal. So everybody remembers that. So limit the mistakes. Do your job, be a shot stopper, as Chris has rightly said. He's a good shot stopper, and keep the shirt.
And in terms of what he had to do on Saturday, were you happy with what you saw?
Yeah, he had a couple of low shots that he handled very well. Just pushed that one away there. I quite like the way he came out for it. There was a free kick in the second half. We were a little bit under pressure, and we held a very high line actually. And the ball was floated in the box, and I didn't expect him to come out, but he made a lot of ground. Then he came out and claimed it and took the pressure right off us. So everything he needed to do, he did with a minimum of fuss, and he did cleanly and what you'd expect a decent keeper to do.
And it's important, isn't it, for defenders to have confidence in their goalkeeper. I know we've touched on this in the past, Chris, but it's true. It's a big
massive
thing.
Yeah, it is. It's massive. And I think if you look at Wes, he's really springy. He looks a confident goalkeeper. And I think if you've got a confident goalkeeper behind you, it gives the defenders confidence. You know, I go back to one of the games that I did on here, the West Brom game. You know, and Wes would have been bitterly disappointed not to play in that game. Obviously, it was Michael Verrips that night. Yeah. And I think Wes would have been thinking, you know, here's my chance. And you know, he ended up missing out, and we know what happened that night. So I think he's waited patient, waited for his chance.
Just a reminder then, you can now buy your match pass for tonight's game. In 8 o'clock kickoff, Sheffield United at Reading. You'll get 4 camera coverage and the added bonus of hearing more of Kevin Gage alongside Matt Young. All you need to do is go to the website sufc.co.uk. And a reminder what else we've got coming your way. Of course, Sheffield United back in action here at the Lane at the weekend, 12:30 on Sunday. Ashley will be in the studio with Carla Saba and Kevin Gage for that one. And looking slightly further ahead, the Blades go to Cardiff on Saturday, the 4th of December. Richard Graves, Rob Kozluck and Kevin once again in the chair for that. In store right now, you can get your mini kits if you do so wish. They're both available, the home and the away. So if you've been waiting for these to come out, and they usually do come out a little bit later than the other size shirts, they're now available in the club store. So if you haven't visited yet, you can do so if you want to. I'm sure you can do it online as well, and you can. Right, we're going to do something a little bit different now. First time I've seen this. It's a new game. What we've done, we've challenged some of the existing squad members. We've challenged their detective skills, okay? So what we've done, we've handed them a series of photographs, and the guys have to decide whether they are indeed real or fake. Now, in association with our sponsors, VPN, we've named this game, very creatively, Real or Fake. It'll all make sense, I promise.
That's mental air, mate. Oh. Is it? Was that the sponsor?
That was the sponsor, yeah. It says it above it as well.
This is fake, just the hair.
Mate, why is this picture in?
This is NordVPN's Fake or Real Challenge.
You never know.
For me, doesn't look.
It doesn't look right?
No.
Okay, but I think like he's played there for many years. Like it's one of them, like 13, 14. You know, he's been with Hecky, or maybe Hecky wasn't here before, but some youth coach. You know.
Six of them. Yeah. And this is going to be a point scorer.
You know what?
What? Picture of Bash. He looks fatter, doesn't he?
Well, obviously I know he played for Sheffield, but I don't think that was a sponsor. Look, he's that white in real also, you know. Maybe got a little bit more tan now, but in general it looks. I think it looks steady.
Is that what you're going for? You're going for that, okay? I just don't think the collar's right. Or is it Johnny?
No, it is. No, it is real, isn't it? Because yeah, that was him at his first.
Is his hair right?
He bash it.
Bash's hair's not right there, is it?
Yeah. I'll try to put him off there.
I went here with Bash like that.
Is it? Was that the sponsor?
That was the sponsor, yeah, 'cause it says it above it as well.
It's real?
Yeah. Huh?
Oh.
Sheffield United? I thought this was like Sunderland time.
He was on loan years ago. He played one game for us.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. And I tried to be funny with him. Like.
1-0. Get a big lead.
I tell you what, Mugs, you were well into that, weren't you? You were well into that. I knew Billy would know that. I knew Billy would know that.
Good game, that.
How would you have been at doing that then? Would you have got them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I pay attention to things.
I can tell. I can tell. Kev, how do you think you'd have fared in that?
Terribly. I got the Egan one completely wrong. He looks about 10 years old in that kit. Did he really play for us?
Well, he was on loan, wasn't he, way back when, before he came back this time. But there we are. So more of that to come in the future. I'll keep you posted as and when. Let's get back to matters tonight then, shall we? Sheffield United at Reading. Let's have a look at the Reading team, first of all. Let's remind you of how the two teams are going to line up tonight. Well, We can see straight away that Andy Carroll is on the bench again. He came off the bench at the weekend, had a hand in their equaliser, but he doesn't get the start. I'm sure we'll see him before the night is through. So George Pushkas will play up front. The player to look out for, I think, well, there's two mainly, John Swift and Ovi Ajaria. Swift, their top scorer, having the season of his life at the moment. He is the player that makes them tick. And it's interesting that these two teams have similar records. Both have won one of their last 6. So both sides will be very keen to put 3 points on the board tonight. So that's how Reading line up. As for the Blades, we know how they're going to go now. 3 changes from the weekend. McGoldrick's in. Norwood is in as well, along with Ryan Brewster. Berger back on the bench. Anybody leap out at you, Morgs, when you look at that Reading team, first of all?
Yeah, Ovi Ajaria. Yeah, I
good
like
footballer.
him. Yeah, he is a good footballer. Yeah, he was at Liverpool. Started off at Liverpool, didn't really find his way at Liverpool, and took a chance really. Came out, went to Reading, and I really like him. I like the shape of him. He looks like a footballer.
Yeah, good balance as well. Can go left and right, can't he? Yeah.
So
perhaps doesn't get enough goals. I think the manager has said that previously, that he wants to see more goals from him. But he's a very silky player. He glides across the surface, doesn't he? And John Swift.
Oh yeah, been a good He's always been a good player. Good footballer, intelligent, sees a pass, and obviously they've got the 2 experienced boys as well, Danny Drinkwater, Scott Dan, in vital positions really in midfield and at centre back. So
we seem to say this a lot, Kevin, but it's a big game for both clubs, isn't it? But 1 win in 6 for each. Just as much as we're looking at this as an opportunity, they'll see Sheffield United coming to town as an opportunity as well. That the results have been in and out, lost 3 of the last 5, drew at the weekend and won at Birmingham before that. So how do you see this?
Yeah, exactly. At the moment, they're 2 mid to lower table teams who are trying to get a foothold in their season. Reading obviously been deducted points, which doesn't help as well, does it? I said on Saturday I thought this week was crucial for Sheffield United.
You said it was a defining week, didn't you?
Defining week, yeah, and I stand by that. We have 2 home games against teams we should really be beating if we're going to do anything in this division, and a tricky away to Reading, but it's nothing to write home about. It's nothing to get too concerned about. They're not world beaters. It's not like going to Bournemouth or West Brom. So yeah, I'm expecting us to get something out of tonight, and I hope we put on a professional, powerful, passionate performance that we certainly didn't see on Saturday.
Would you go as far as to say it's a must-win tonight?
I don't think it's a must-win. I think we need to get at least a draw. We can't be going down to Reading and having another defeat. I think we need to get something out tonight.
Ollie Norwood, of course, back on familiar territory. He's been around a bit. We know that. He had a couple of years at Reading, and I know you're a fan of Oliver Norwood, aren't you? Because the importance he plays when United are playing well, his ability to get them up the pitch. I would imagine you're not veering away from that viewpoint, Kevin.
Not, no.
And he's back in the team tonight.
Yeah, lots of people. He
can divide opinion, can't he?
Yeah, he
at
has
times?
his critics. Yeah, and people focus on the things he can't do. Where I would like to focus on the things he does very, very well. And as you rightly say, Paul, I think he does make us tick in there. Interestingly, when he was playing for the manager at Fulham, he didn't play in the central midfield quarterback role, as we call it, pinging balls about. He was played on the right-hand side of the 3 in midfield. So using his creativity there, but he's the one who gets the ball off the back four, and he feeds it into the front players, and he feeds it wide. And whenever we seem to play really well, he's a key, integral part of that. So I'm pleased to see him back in the side.
Morgs, what's your view on what Ollie Norwood brings this team?
The thing that I like about Ollie is he's brave, and he never goes. He's not one that goes hiding. Even when the times are tough, he's one of them midfield players that give me the ball, and he might try some long range passes out of play, don't find the target, but he's brave. You can talk about footballers being brave in different ways, but Ollie's brave with the ball. He wants it. He wants to use the ball. But obviously a midfield player that wants to use the ball needs runners. He needs runners off him. He doesn't need everybody coming towards him. And I think Kev just said whenever we've played well, he thinks that Ollie Norwood's played well. I think as the partnership, because I think the same about Flecky. I think when Flecky plays well, we play well. And so if we can get them both ticking and both back to like they played before, then we should start picking some results up.
We saw on the bench for Reading Andy Carroll. He came in last week on a short-term contract until January. I'm immediately looking at you, Morgs, because I bet you would love to have gone up against him tonight.
Yeah, I had a few.
What a heavyweight battle that is.
I had a few games up against Andy. You know, when he was at Newcastle, and he's an out-and-out centre forward. He's a number 9. He's a Mick Harford, and Alan Shearer type. You know, he's a proper centre forward. And I tell you, you know, I think when Duncan Ferguson was ever on the bench, as soon as he started to go and warm up, centre halves' heart rates went up. And I think he'll be the same. When Andy's on the bench, as soon as he gets off that bench to go and warm up, centre halves will catch a glimpse of him and think, aye, here he comes. Because, you know, he has struggled with injuries. You know, he's been very, very unlucky as Andy. But he's represented some top clubs, and I'm sure he'll still have a lot to offer. And I believe he's basically gone back in at Reading as well and not took a wage. He just wants to play football, which says a lot about him as a
credit to him for that, because eyebrows are raised. They were hit with a 6-point deduction, and then from the outside looking in, Andy Carroll goes in, and it's like, well, hang on, that's a bit of a head scratcher, isn't it? But if he has gone in there and said, look, I'll play for next to nothing, then it's a no-brainer for Reading, isn't it, to have that kind of option to climb off the bench?
It's a fantastic option, isn't it? The Morgs is exactly right. The last person you want to see coming off the last 20 minutes as a defender is someone like Andy Carroll. Gives you a fantastic, and there'll always be a role in professional football for a centre forward like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's always going to be about.
Maybe here. Do United miss a player like that?
Well, we thought we had one, didn't we? McBurney was supposed to be our target man centre forward. You know, he's not 6'5". He's not going to frighten too many people, but that's his role in the team. That's what we were looking to him to do. Still waiting them, aren't we?
We are still waiting indeed. Right, it is a very special anniversary today, in case you didn't know. It is the 30th anniversary of a certain Kevin Gage's first goal for Sheffield United, would you believe? It came in the victory over Tottenham on the 23rd of November 1991. Slight little assist from the goalkeeper, Eric Tordsvet. Big moment for you, this, Kevin.
Yeah,
first of many.
First of a few.
9.
I wouldn't call it many. I think
9.
I think the word "very" is doing a lot of work in your assessment of that. To be honest, it was special to me. Yeah, that was my full debut. So I think the dubious goals panel will be looking at that very closely before giving it to me.
Well,
these days.
let's inspect it. Is this going on target? I don't think it is it? So in today's game, you might not have been lucky to get that, Kev. I don't want to be the one to take it off you all this time on.
Well, that's lucky because you can't take it off me. It's in the record books and that's where it's staying. But no, that's. I mean, I berate the fullbacks and the wide players every time they shunt across or overhit it or miss the first man or something. So that's just like a low cross. You know, Dino's going in there. You know our players. When the ball's laid back to me from Bryson, my first thought is I'm going to whip this in right-footed, hard and low. You know, it's exactly. They know exactly where I'm going to put that ball. So Mabbutt's got there first and has deflected it in. It was
a good Tottenham team, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a great Tottenham team. Linekers and Naeem and Gary Mabbutt, as just mentioned, Paul Walsh. You know, they were a top team.
Gordon Jury.
Jury's probably playing, Vinny Samways, and managed by Terry Venables. So it was a good scout for us to pick up. And we beat them 2-0 at home as well that season. Did the double over them.
Yeah. And we spoke about 6-0 over Spurs as well, whilst we got into the conversation, which Blades fans will remember. Maybe that's one for another day, but that was a memorable game down here. I remember that vividly. I was stood on John Street at the time. Speaking of defenders who can score goals, you got a few along the way, Morgs, and we didn't want to leave you out, obviously. What about this ripper from Chris Morgan against the Royals here? Look at that. Wow.
It's just about being in the right place at the right time.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what we always said about you. You just had that handy knack.
Striker's finish. I thought you were going to show me bicycle kicking
in
the FA Cup at Forest.
No. You've dined on that. You've dined out on that for far too long.
What, my gentle little lob at Swansea?
That was a good one as well. Yeah. Well, we'll bring that up when United play Swansea next. Don't worry about that. But look at this little gamble there, just making sure. In it goes. Who got the flick on that, by the way?
I got wrapped in the net. I don't know.
The celebration needs work. I feel, Chris. To be honest.
Strange celebration that. It looked like an angry celebration,
didn't it? What's going on there? It's like
know.
Incredible Hulk style thing, but without moving. Just waiting for people to come over and celebrate with you.
It's all about the delivery of that free kick, by the way, isn't it? Perfect delivery. Perfect delivery.
Yeah, I just like the way he gambled. It's a great close range finish, but they all count.
Get in there.
They're all special, mate.
Width of the goalpost.
Absolutely.
One touch finish.
all right, calm down. We've got him going now. Chris Morgan, Kevin Gage alongside me, having a bit of a laugh here as we build up to an 8 o'clock kick-off. It is Reading against Sheffield United. Time now to hear from Enda Stevens, who says they must improve quickly if they're to stand any chance of getting promotion this season.
It's not where we want to be, but we've got to be realistic. It's where we are, and we've got to improve ourselves. We've got to pick up results and really start to kick on now if we want to have any chance of succeeding.
What are the ambitions for the rest of this season now? Because it's hard to look at the team right now and think promotion is viable.
I think with this league, I think anything is possible. There's still plenty of football to be played, and if we can just get a run together, who knows what can happen. We've got the quality in the team, we've got the experience. It's just trying to get that going and really kicking on,
It's back to a back three in the last game. Do the players feel more comfortable in that system?
Formations is formations. Like we work on everything, and it just comes down to the players, and we manager will put a team out there to perform and win a game, and it's down to the players to do so, no matter what formation that is.
And Reading, what do you expect from them? Obviously they've had quite an eventful last week, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. It's obviously they've had a disappointment with the points deduction and that, but we got to expect to have them at their best, and it'll be a tough game. It always has been when we've been down there. It's always been a close game, so we was expecting a tough opposition and them to be at their best, so hopefully we've got to be at it.
I was reading some really interesting comments from Carlos Saba, who was a friend of this show, of course, who was putting his opinions across about the game at the weekend, and he was making the point that it's all well and good playing with wing-backs, Chris, but he felt that United needed to get the ball out quicker to those wing-backs to allow Sheffield United to get up the pitch quicker. And overall, the overriding feeling was that it was all a bit laboured and a bit slow. Is that what United or any team should be doing if they're playing wing-backs? Try and get it out there as quickly as possible?
I think, to be fair, Paul, I think that's been a criticism of the team even from pre-season, that we've not moved the ball quick enough. We've not been aggressive with the passing and got the ball forward and got runners going forward. So yeah, I fully agree with Sabs. If you're going to play with wing backs like Enda, like George, like Jaden, and lads that want to get forward and get crosses in, then you've got to move the ball quick, get it out to them. And Gage, you were just saying there about his goal. He knew as a fullback that the minute that came to you, particularly if it was laid back, you were putting a cross in. And them lads, since they've been at the club, they've put good balls in the box. They've delivered, and they want to get forward. They've got energy. They're fit lads. They're quick. But I think there has been a criticism of this team that we're not moving the ball fast enough.
And it's a fair criticism, isn't it, Kevin? It's not just trying to pick out a negative for picking out a negative's sake. There's truth behind it.
Absolutely, yeah. It was very noticeable on Saturday. We keep harping back to Saturday, but it highlighted a lot of our flaws Saturday, and we were moving the ball way too slowly. And Enda Stevens was waiting for the ball here, and Davis was coming forward with the ball. That ball needed to be zipped out to him. And in previous seasons, we've been spoilt really, because we've been the likes of Jack O'Connell, and Basham charging down the wings, overlapping and getting involved. We're not at that level yet, but Ender's suffered sometimes. Not a lot of support out there on the left. He actually played a lot better when he had Osborne in front of him. He's one who's played well in the back four, because he had Osborne outside of him on the left-hand side, and he could make that lovely triangle with Fleck, and they put some good movement together.
Ender playing well in your view overall?
He's doing okay. Once again, he's got his critics. You see it on social media, and you see some fans having a go at him, but I think he's doing okay, to be honest. He's no worse than anybody else. I
guess it's the nature of the beast, though, Chris. When results aren't going well, fans look to point the finger at someone, don't they? And some of it may well be justified. Look, I'm not here to say, look, no one's excused of any blame here, but that does happen. That's the nature of football, isn't it?
Yeah. And again, supporters pay the money. They come and they come in and they're judging. And in fairness, you know, they back the players. They back the players over the past few seasons through the promotions in the Premier League. You know, when the team was playing well, and there was a big expectancy, a huge expectancy when the club came out of the Premier League. You know, to be at the top of the league, a la Fulham, a la Bournemouth, and go again. You know, and I think in many ways, you know, the fans are right to criticise. You know, they expect to come to Bramall Lane and see fast flowing football, energetic football, and hey, we've got a different manager and it's a different style, and people have to get used to that. It's a total different style, you know. So in many ways, we're talking about it, but we can't keep revisiting the style of football that we had under Chris. It's a total different style of football, so we do have to get used to that. But unfortunately, over the years, Bramall Lane, and I speak to loads of players who used to come as opponents and play here, and they always used to describe about the energy, you know, the crowd, the way the minute the first ball rolls, the team's on top of you, they're coming for you, and the slow build up, which we saw under other managers as well, that came to the football club. You know, the slow style, the fans soon get, I was going to say fed up, no, not fed up, they get frustrated.
Yeah. Well, one man who very rarely, if at all, comes in for criticism is Chris Basham. He's back in the side. He started the last 3 games and naturally is thrilled to be playing regularly once again.
Yeah, it's fantastic for us. It's something that I was desperate to get back. The manager showed some belief in us. Obviously, Davo got injured, so it was a chance for me to step in there and try and claim my place again. Nothing against Davo, it's just the way football is. You have to try and get back in as soon as possible and try and play. I was trying to just be a good supporter on the bench, trying to do my best for the team, trying to be somebody that could rely on us. But yeah, like you say, back in the team now and trying to show why I shouldn't have been dropped and put out the team.
Ideally, obviously, you would have liked to have won the game at the weekend, but getting a clean sheet, you know, that's a big step in the right direction, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the sole focus on the back 5 was to keep a clean sheet, be more solid, be more aggressive when we can be, and give me and Davo a bit of leeway to get forward and support the lads up front as well, which I thought we did, just without getting the goal that we deserved. I thought, especially pushing towards the end, where we haven't done that as much this season. I think it's always them pushing against us, but this weekend I thought we deserved the victory. But Simon Moore, my old friend, was brilliant in goal.
There's a lot of external talk about formations and playing as a 2 or a 3. As far as you're concerned, does it matter at all to you?
No, I've actually fully enjoyed playing in the 4, but we've conceded goals, which has been the downfall of it. So I think with the manager going back to back 5, we're more structured. Everybody understands position. We looked good on the weekend without conceding big opportunities for the opposition team, and hopefully we can carry on this week and get some results that we fully deserve.
Your performance was noted as a high point for Sheffield United, and the fans responded to that. How nice is it to hear the fans singing name once?
Yeah, it's always going to be nice. Finally, we needed some good performances. We needed some good individual performances, and that normally brings a win at the end. So.
He is the manager's dream, plain and simple, isn't he? Epitomises the whole club in one player.
It's wonderful, isn't
right
it? Yeah, you took the words exactly out of my mouth. I was just thinking what I was going to say there. He's Mr. Sheffield United, isn't he? He really is. In a different way, when he plays well, the defence...
I'm hearing this phrase a lot tonight.
But the defence seems to be solid, you know, when Basham's in it. And he's great defensively. He's 6 foot 4. He wins enough balls in the air. He gets his foot in. He's not one of these who goes through people and smashes people out of the way, but he's more of he'll get that long limb in the way of something and get something on the ball and just tow it out the way, you know what I mean? And then we haven't even started to discuss what he gives to us in an attacking sense. Over the past few seasons, I mean, he's been outrageous in his overlapping, his inner lapping. He'll just appear on the edge of the box. I mean, absolutely wonderful, and he rightly deserves all the plaudits and the praise that Sheffield United fans have given him.
I'm sure you would agree with everything and more.
He's great. I love the nickname that the fans have for him, Basham Bauer.
Basham Bauer.
It's brilliant. You know, I was on the coaching staff when Bash came to the club, and he's such a, first and foremost, just what a great lad. Yeah. You know, a proper you can see all he ever wanted to do growing up as a kid was be a professional footballer. You know, he's not one of the current brigade with fancy wash bag, and he is an out and out genuine lad that just loves playing football, and he is, and I think he's done brilliant. To say he was a midfield player that's converted to a right side flying, overlapping centre half, and then also slotted in as a 4, and his versatility over the years, whether it's whatever position, wherever he's being used, just fantastic. He's a proper lad.
Yeah, he proves that you can be flipping burgers 1 minute, playing in the Premier League the next, because that's the journey he's been on, and he's quite proud of that fact. You know, he remembers his roots. He still goes back to that very same McDonald's apparently as well from time to time up in the northeast, which just kind of sums the guy up. Just to go and say hello and shake a few hands and reminisce with people.
Don't surprise me. Yeah.
Brilliant. He's a top man.
Don't tell the Sheffield United dietitian.
No, we won't be doing that. But he's in the team tonight, and that's the thing, the versatility of the guy. You know that if you got an injury in midfield tonight, you needed to make alterations, you could quite comfortably put him in there. You could play him out on the right wing if necessary. He's never going to let you down, is he? He's never going to moan. He's never going to whinge. As long as he's playing, that's all he wants to do.
Yeah. Well, Slab usually plays with a defensive midfielder. You could actually make a good case for playing Chris Basham in that. If you were playing 4 at the back, you could play Chris Basham in that holding midfield role quite easily, with 2 creative players at either side of him, and that would be fine by me. Wouldn't have any qualms with that whatsoever.
I'm going to let you go now, Kev. I'm going to let you get in your seat, ready for the commentary. But before you do, quick prediction: how's it going to go tonight?
We're going to get something out of tonight. We're not going to lose tonight.
You're not going as far as to saying we're going to win?
No. I'm going to leave it there.
Okay. He's learning. He's learning not to stick his neck out too far. We'll let you go. More from Kevin to come alongside Matt Young for the commentary. In about 7 minutes from now. But before we get to that, let's hear more from the Sheffield United boss, Slaviša Jukanovic, who accepts that they do have to win certain sections of the fans over.
Listen, this is a normal situation in the football game, and first of all, we need to give them for they give us back. We cannot charge nobody around us. It's the responsibility of our situation is ourselves, not people on the stand. And this simple reaction from the stand, I must accept this is not special. It's so different in Bramall Lane than in other places around the world. If where they have the reason for being on our side, they will be 100%. If they are discomfortable with the decision, they are act in the stadium is more or less normal, and we need to encourage them for they are with enough energy for encourage ourselves, and that's it. It's not it's simple like this reaction in the different stand and the different stadium is with relationship with everything what happened on the field. We are not satisfied. They are not satisfied. They cannot jump and score the goal. It's our obligation is change our mood, and in this case we can change mood of our stand too.
So Slaviša Jukanovic's thoughts there. Fingers crossed Sheffield United can get the 3 points down in Berkshire this evening. Commentary on the way in just a few minutes. You've still got time to buy your match pass if you haven't done so already. You can enjoy the coverage with us. 4-camera coverage. You'll get the works. You get Kevin Gage and you get Matt Young. And you'll get us guys at half-time as well, Chris Morgan alongside me. Let's get your thoughts then, Chris, as we get ever nearer to kick-off. How do you see this one playing out? I mean, we've sat here so many times saying this is it, this is the start. Feels like we're running out of chances now.
I think we'll win tonight. I think we'll win 2-1. I think it'll be a slow start to the game, but I think as the game goes on, I've looked at Reading and I think they've struggled at home, and I think we'll take advantage of that. I think we'll take advantage tonight, and I think we'll come away with the 3 points. So the clean sheet and the draw on Saturday, backed up with 3 points tonight, and then that opens up Sundays. Because again, you know, the Bristol City game on Sunday. You know, I know we've got tonight, but straight away you're looking at Bristol City Sunday, and it's another game because am I right? I think Bristol City on the same points as us going into tonight.
Yeah, they're not on a great run themselves.
Yeah. So I fully think we'll get the win tonight.
How important is it to set the tone from the off because they didn't do that at the weekend, Sheffield United. Yes, I know they're away from home, but the onus surely is on them to get off to a fast start tonight.
I think it is when you go in, and the analysts will have done the work, obviously the manager and the coaches, and particularly when you know people are struggling at home. You know, you're just looking there, you know, what,
sparsely populated,
yeah.
isn't it?
It was never like that. It was never like that, you know. And going back, we said when we first came in, the Reading Sheffield United games always used to be cracking games,
yeah.
and it was always full. But it looks, looking at that, it looks like a reserve game, you know. So there's not going to be a great atmosphere. So it's vitally important, Paul, vitally important tonight that we go and set the tone and get right after them from the word go. Because even though I said I think it will be a slow start to the game, I don't think either team will want to give anything away. But if we can get at them and get an early goal, I think they'll crumble.
You talk about previous meetings. What's been the best game that you've been involved in? I remember going down there quite a few times. I remember John Harley scoring a brilliant goal one year. Brian Howard scored, I think. But the game I remember most of all is Keith Gillespie getting sent off. No sooner has he come on from the bench.
Yeah,
straight back off again.
Substituted on and then off. And then I think there was a lot of them all merge into one.
They do, don't they? Yeah.
I know
Comes
there was
with age,
a game
Morgs.
was it Kev Dillon and the gaffer arguing?
Yeah.
And then Christian Narde ripping all the Recaro seats. You know, he sort of came from nowhere to protect the gaffer. But no, we used to have some cracking games against Reading, and you know, particularly the year that we both got promoted. You know, I think both games here just proper football matches.
Well, as you can see, the teams are coming out. Morgs and I will be back at half-time, but let's hand you over to our commentary team tonight. It is Reading against Sheffield United. Let's hear more now from Kevin Gage and your commentator, Matt Young.
After registering a clean sheet at the weekend against Coventry, United will be looking to build against a Reading side who were recently rocked by a 6-point deduction. Both sides